and welcome to episode 9 of 90 Seconds, the place where you get to see us solve your questions. Ash is going to be joining us today. You might know him from his website performance optimization course or his other great content on the Elementor Academy and the YouTube channel. He is one of our in-house Elementor expert educators, so welcome Ash.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck. Alright, a quick reminder of the rules. As always, this show is for you. And you can go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. Just make sure that they are related to Elementor, they're how-to related. Could be designs, layouts, or certain effects. It could also be new Elementor features, such as the purchase summary widget. Just for an example, what we will do is we will choose questions from the chat, and we have 90 seconds to solve each one. And when the time is up, you get to decide what we do. Either we continue solving it, or we go on to the next one. And also, as a little thank you from us, participants who asked questions in the chat, they'll be entered into a raffle to win an awesome prize. And I'll announce the winner at the end of the event. All right. Also, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit hoarse, but it's okay. To get the ball rolling, we'll start with an unanswered question from the previous episode. Let's do this. Question 1 from Luis Gomez on YouTube. They asked, how do I show the categories on a post without using a third-party plugin? Ash, this sounds like dynamic content.
Yeah, sure.
90 seconds. Let's go.
All right, let's do this. So let's head over to the theme builder where we've already set up a single template for our blog articles. And let's open that in the Elementor editor. This is really simple to do. Okay, we're just going to use the dynamic tags. So as you can see, we've got a featured image, post title, post content. Let's drop in an additional heading widget just underneath here. And instead of manually typing something, let's populate it with dynamic content. So select the dynamic tags option. And now we want to select post terms. This allows us to then select a taxonomy. And in this instance, we're going to choose categories like so. And as you can see, it auto-populates the word blog because this category is called blog. Right. If there were multiple categories, okay, they'd be separated with a comma. You can change that here if you so wish. And we can also add text to show before. So we could type, this is the space blog.
So you can customize it.
Yeah, and then you could also add some text after, like so. And it really is as simple as that. It just pulls in the category and allows you to display that on your post type.
Thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
We hope that answers the question. Let's move on to the next question. Bali Bob on YouTube is asking, I have a page created with Elementor with a gallery. SEO won't recognize the images. Do I need to eliminate the gallery to get the images recognized by SEO? Ash, I reckon you can demonstrate the gallery widget and show how SEO works.
Yeah, sure.
90 seconds. Let's do it.
Let's get a head start. So let's create a new section. Let's drop in one of our gallery widgets. We'll just stick with a basic gallery just for demonstration purposes. Let's add some images. And what I want you to take a look at here is when I add the images, so let's just select some. This last one in particular, they've all got them. We've got this alt text here. Must make sure that this is populated. Okay, right. This is what the search engines will read. This is what gets read back with screen readers and that type of stuff. This is what gets used with your SEO, with your Google Images, etc. Let's create the new gallery, insert the gallery. We can make it look a bit prettier, I guess, like so. Make it one column, perhaps. Larger images. But yeah, really, it's all to do with the information that you display.
You can add captions as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few options there. Like at a minimum, add some alt text. Okay, that's what the search engines are going to read. And then the more information you can provide, the better.
Description, caption.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. We hope that answered the question. Let's move on to the next one. Holland number 1 on YouTube is asking, how can I add JavaScript?
Okay.
All right. 90 seconds, straightforward. Let's do it.
Cool. I'm not going to write any JavaScript right now, but I'll certainly show you how to add
90 seconds.
So the simplest way to add JavaScript, okay, we can do it in the editor, is to use the HTML code block, like so. Okay. And to add your JavaScript, you're going to want to wrap it in script tags. And if you just start to write the word script like so, you can see that it already comes up. Hit enter, close that, and then it automatically closes it for you. and then in the space here in the middle, that's
so this
where
would
you
be
can
your JavaScript code.
yeah,
would
so this is it. You'd write your JavaScript there, or you'd copy and paste it from an external source. Okay, so that's one quick way of doing it. The better way probably to do it is to use the custom code feature.
Right.
So if I head back to the dashboard and go to Elementor custom code, how much time we got left?
We got time.
Add a new custom code. Let's call this JavaScript demo. Oh, spelled demo right. We can choose a location for it to go in. We'll put it at the bottom of the page, okay? Generally pretty good idea to add JavaScript towards the bottom of the page. So everything else can load first,
right,
and then that loads at the end. And there's a jQuery option there as well, but we won't get into that right now. Let's just stick with just vanilla kind of JavaScript. But again, yeah, we're gonna add those script tags, okay? The system automatically closes that tag for you. You can then type your JavaScript there.
Great.
We can then publish. We can choose where we want that JavaScript to be loaded, whether on the entire website.
That's it. We ran out of time.
Yeah.
Ash, thank you so much. You gave two great options. Let's move on to the next question. Bluetronics Zagreb on YouTube is asking how to add phone number on a site that can be a link to call. So he wants to click on the link that makes a phone call. Ash,
Sure.
90 seconds. Let's do it.
All right, so let's do this on our contact page because that's probably the most relevant place to place a phone number, right? Okay, cool. So we've got a contact form. Let's add a new section like so. Let's do it with an icon because we can pop the icon in here. We can set a little phone icon like so. And what we want to do here is we want to use the dynamic tags option like we did previously, but this time we are going to, where are we?
Actions.
Actually.
You've got actions, contact URL. There we go.
Where are we? Oh, I've lost it. There we go. Awesome, thank you.
Cool.
So yeah, under the dynamic tags option, we've got the contact URL. If we then select the gear icon, we've got loads of options here. So as you can see, I know the question was about a telephone number, but we've got time, so let's cover some other stuff. You can set an email address, WhatsApp number, Skype, Messenger, etc. For the telephone, we'll select tel, and then we can pop the phone number in here like so. So if it was a UK number, obviously I'm from the UK, I'd type +44 first, and then I'd type whatever that number is, like so.
Actually, from the UK?
I'm from the UK indeed. Yeah. And
cool.
When that is now clicked, okay, we'll be prompted. This is the live preview in the editor, so it doesn't come up.
If you click this on the mobile phone, of course,
you're then prompted to make that call.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. We hope that answered the question. Let's move on to the next one. Alike on YouTube is asking how to use button jump to a specific column on the page with the scroll animation.
Scroll animation.
It sounds like something anchor and maybe scroll snap.
Yeah.
90 seconds.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Cool. So yeah, it sounds like a kind of anchor situation.
Right.
We could use the anchor widget, or we could just kind of manually do this. So let's select this section here, and what we're going to do is we're going to head to the Advanced tab and give it an ID. Let's just put test for now. Okay.
Right.
And then up in our hero section here, let's add a button, like so. Put it in the center. We'll call it test. And then the link, we're going to leave the hashtag there, and we're just going to type test afterwards. And if we update and then preview that page,
is the ID that you gave to the following
we'll come back to the scrolling shortly. But as you can see, if we click that button now, it then takes us to that section.
Oh, that's great.
Scrolling animations kind of depends on the speed. I actually have some scrolling animations applied to this hero area. For some reason they're not loading right now, but it should blur out. But because it jumps down quite quickly, I'm not sure it will be super effective. Oh, I've actually got them turned off. Let's have a look. I think I've got them applied to the background image here. So let's apply a transparency one. That's probably not the best example. Maybe a scale. Again, maybe that's not the right one. Let's just do this. Vertical scroll. Okay. This is obviously pretty messy, but hopefully it will allow us to preview the jump down.
Oh,
no, unfortunately not.
You know what? I'm putting out my time extension card. Let's just continue just to check this out, and maybe we can also show the scroll snap so they can control the actual animation of...
Yeah, sure. Maybe scroll snap is probably a better solution here for this rather than using those scrolling animations. To get to those scroll snap options, we want to go into the settings in the bottom left-hand corner here. And then in the advanced tab, we can enable scroll snap like so. And then from there, yeah, we've got various configurations. We can set the snap position to be the top of the container, the middle, or the bottom. We'll leave it at the top. We can apply some padding, so it could be, say, like 100 pixels padding. And then if we kind of scroll down like so, you'll see that there's some space left there, which will probably allow for any additional scrolling animations to possibly be seen.
So with scroll snap, you can control also the way you scroll and the way that the sections snap, but also if you click on a button and it takes you to a specific section via anchor, it will also control that padding.
It still gives you that padding, it's going to be experimental though. You're going to want to really play around with those settings and check them on desktop, tablet, mobile, you know, just to really fine tune them. Unfortunately, 90 seconds is probably not quite enough time to...
Thank you. Hopefully that answers the question. Let's move on to the next one. David Delka on YouTube is asking, the custom sticky header I created seems to overshoot the anchor set in the corresponding section of the page. How can I fix this issue?
Okay.
Ash, 90 seconds. Let's do it.
Sounds like some overflow needs to be applied. My header's not sticky, but let's make it sticky. I've just opened that quickly. So motion effects under the advanced tab. Sticky will set to top. We've got an effects offset there. Let's just turn that off. As you can see, my header is now sticky.
Right.
So sorry, could you repeat the question just so I could
the custom sticky header I created seems to overshoot the anchor set in the corresponding section of the page.
Cool. The issue here is my menu items aren't anchor items, so it's going to be hard to kind of replicate this in a real sense, but we can definitely kind of do like a mock preview. But the option here that this gentleman wants to apply is the offset. So as you can see, I've set this as sticky, which opens these additional options, and 100 pixels is always a good place to start with these.
To compensate for that.
Yeah, sure. So let's just head back to the page. So we've made it sticky. It's not going to let me go back to the page now. And yeah, if we were using anchor tag, the anchor widget, for example, let's just drop this in. Sorry, it's gone a bit crazy. I'm not too sure why.
Command Z.
Let's just get rid of that. I've lost a section.
Another 1 second. We ran out of time.
Sorry. It's
I'm going to pull out my second time extension.
I need to refresh the page. I think.
Let's just check this out because it's quite cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we've set our header to be sticky to the top. The offset. It's the links, isn't it? I don't know. My sections have disappeared.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
Maybe you can...
offset is the answer, and I can certainly write a solid solution for this.
Absolutely.
So this gentleman can
90
actually
seconds
apply.
Is a little bit stressing, but it's okay. You're doing very, very good. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Cynthia Ferry on YouTube is asking, how do I make a circle that scales responsively? Okay, so she wants to make a circle that scales responsively.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Interesting, yeah.
90 seconds?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, I mean, to make a shape in Elementor, my page has gone really crazy. To make a shape in Elementor, I mean, there's a couple of workarounds, but really what I would normally do is probably create like an SVG shape.
Right.
Something like that. I think it's not a circle, but it should hopefully allow this person to view how to scale. So let's just drop in the logo. This is an SVG, so just imagine that it is a circle. So we want to scale it responsively. Is that the question? Oh, I know what's going on. It's scroll snap. That's why. Let's turn that off. I just realised we turned scroll snap
Okay,
on.
so while you're busy editing and building and working on it,
yeah.
you can always disable scroll snap.
Yeah, okay. So let's apply some padding. So, I mean, really, responsive sizing is super simple. So anywhere you see this icon, it allows you to change that setting for the device. So I have 4 devices set up. I've got desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile. I've set this to 300 pixels on desktop.
Right.
If I switch to laptop, I can set it to 200. If I switch to tablet, I can set it to 100, and so on. And as I work my way,
and you can also set this to motion effects. You can also set the motion effects to scale and apply them to mobile devices as well.
Yeah, of course.
The time is up. Hopefully that answers the question. Let's move on to the next question. Ricardo Turcato on YouTube is asking, there's a trick to create a continuous text slide in Elementor. All right, so I'm just going to repeat the question, Ash, if you can see that over there. There's a trick, was asking, is there a trick to create a continuous text slide in Elementor? All right, so this sounds like maybe something custom CSS.
Yeah.
Are you up for it?
Yeah. It may or may not go right.
All right.
This is some.
Let's tackle it.
Okay.
90 seconds. Let's go.
Okay. So we've got a heading. Let's move that to a better section. Here, let's add some space around it, and then we could add some custom CSS, like so. So I think we want to target this element, which we can do with the selector.
Right.
And so the question.
So basically, what he wants to do is a continuous text slide. It sounds like maybe transition. Timing.
I'm trying to remember the CSS.
He wants the text to slide. So linear.
Just trying to rack my brain. Okay.
It's okay. You got another 30 seconds.
Yeah. Hopefully we can come up with a solution for this.
Let's check it out.
Close that CSS. Maybe we need to actually directly target this element. We'll just open the inspector to do so, and let's grab the CSS here, the classes like so, and replace that selector. No, unfortunately, I would need more time just to.
We ran out of time.
Yeah, I'm ever so sorry, but
okay, so also this one, maybe if you've got time, you can.
Definitely. Yeah, we can review these questions that need a bit more than 90 seconds to.
And maybe we can add in the description also in the event.
Yeah, sure.
Or write a post.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, Ash, thanks. Let's move on to the next one. Respect Design on Facebook is asking, not sure if this could be answered, but my contact form is not sending emails. What is the best way to set up a contact form?
Okay.
It's more of a general question.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a verbal kind of explanation.
Go for it.
WordPress, okay.
90 seconds, go.
Are we in?
Yes.
WordPress uses the PHP mailer as default. It's incredibly unreliable, incredibly so. You know, it works sometimes. Most of the time, those mails end up in people's spam folders.
Right.
You know, so there's a couple of workarounds. You can certainly, you know, add the email address that the website is sending from to your address book. Sometimes that kind of overrides it. You know, in Gmail, for example, you can tell it that it's not spam, and then it will, you know, move those emails into your inbox. But really, the most reliable way is to use a third-party plugin.
Right.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention any of their names right now, but some of the best ones have the word SMTP in the title, and really they're fantastic, and it allows you to configure your email address, you know, properly.
Right.
Okay, but it, you know, the decent ones out there as well, they guide you through, you know, applying additional settings to your DNS configuration, you know, at your, you know, within your kind of server level settings. So definitely check those out. The WordPress PHP mailer is incredibly unreliable. I'm going to say it again. So if you are having problems, you know, with email being delivered successfully, that is the answer, is to seek out one of these third-party solutions.
All right.
And configure it properly like that. So,
thanks, Ash.
yeah.
We hope that answers the question. Let's move on to the next one. Fabrica Collective on Facebook is asking, how can I make an image in a column to be full width so as to avoid having to add as a background image to the section? She explains, as my SEO tool doesn't read the alt tags in the image section.
Okay, yeah,
All
this
right.
is, yeah.
90 seconds.
I'll let you go.
Let's do it.
All right, yeah, this is common. Yeah, those background images, they don't get picked up,
Right.
with the alt tag, bit of an issue. So luckily, Elementor has a solution. So let's create a section first. We'll set the section to full width. We'll remove the gap, and then we'll add in an image like so. Let's make that image something a little bit more appealing. So yeah, pretty standard image. Okay, what we're going to do now, in fact, let's make this a bit bigger like here. We're going to set this image to 100% width so that it fills that container. We've removed the gap, so as you can see, it goes edge to edge.
Right.
But really the beauty with Elementor is the ability to set the height. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to viewport height. And we're going to set that to 100, which will equal 100% of the user's viewport. And doing so opens up this object fit option. And as you can see, that image is kind of skewed slightly. So if we switch that to cover now, this image now fills 100% of the user's screen. We've obviously got the sticky header, so that's kind of in the way a little bit. But
if you would view this section on a desktop or on a tablet or on a mobile, it would still take up.
Exactly, it would fill the user's screen, and because we set it to cover, okay, it's never going to be a skewed image. And if you needed to add additional elements here, so say this was a hero section, you could drop in a heading widget, and you could make that heading widget absolute underneath the positioning tab.
When you do that, you remove it off the flow of elements on the page.
Removes it, it sticks it on
wherever
top.
you want.
You could then align that to the middle of that container, to that section, sorry.
Time is up.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ash.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answered the question. Let's move on to the next one. Elite Boss Branding on YouTube is asking how to fix broken logo on mobile version. The logo appears broken, yet okay on desktop. Okay, so maybe you can add some insights or some tips just to make sure that if you are dealing with broken logos. 90 seconds, let's do it.
Okay, I mean, sounds like a specific issue. Broken, I'm not 100% sure what this question refers to. Maybe
just a refresh.
Yeah, maybe it's not loading, so it could be like a cache issue perhaps, but why it's only working on mobile, I'm not 100% sure. But one thing I would definitely do straight away is clear the cache on the server, clear the cache in the local browser, and then if that doesn't fix the issue, there's obviously something else interfering with that. So that could be a third-party plugin, perhaps. It could be anything like that. So you want to strip your website down to the most basic form you can possible. Okay, eliminate things as you go, and then that should allow you to figure out, why that logo is not loading on mobile. There's a reason why that's not happening. And you just need to identify that. There's not really much I can show.
All right. Great. And maybe you can show the logo itself, and so that you can actually edit that and
in our header. Yeah, sure. I mean, this is our logo. It's just an SVG, an SVG image that we have here. We've set a specific site, but obviously we're not having an issue. As we scroll down, I've got some margin applied here. We'll just get rid of that. Ours, fortunately, does display for us. But if we were having those issues, that's certainly the troubleshooting route that I would go through. Is clearing cache at the server level,
and also make
locally.
sure that you're using the right widgets.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Hopefully that answered the question. Let's move on to the next question, and this also is the last question for today. Patrick Sullivan on YouTube is asking, how can I get confirmation message, or how can I get the confirmation message to appear in the middle of the screen or as a pop-up after a user has hit submit on the Contact Us page? All right, this sounds like a classic pop-up.
Yeah.
90 seconds, last question for today. Ash,
all right.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm just going to head start,
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So we're gonna really quickly just duplicate a pop-up that we already have. In fact, let's just change this one. So we'll get rid of the form. And we'll say thank you, and then we can type we'll be in touch soon. and update. So this pop-up is called reservation. All right. So if we now head to our contact page, which we were working on earlier, and if we select our form,
right.
We're presented with loads of options, but really, this is one of the things I love about Elementor is the after action submit.
Oh,
okay,
great.
Just fantastic. Yeah. So by default, we've got collect submissions and email set up. But what we can do is we can launch and close pop-ups with this as well.
Right.
So if we click the plus icon and scroll down, we can see pop-up. And doing so then opens up the additional pop-up field here, where we can open a pop-up. And then we'll search for that pop-up, which was called reservations.
Which in this case is the thank you pop-up.
Which is the thank you one, yeah. Wrongly named in this instance, but yeah. And then if we preview that page now, and if we fill in the form, not only is an email sent to us, an entry submitted into our submissions form in the back end of the website,
right.
But also, as we click send, a thank you message pops up in the middle of the page there. Just to confirm.
You made it just in time. Whew. I think that's a first. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, our 9th episode has come to an end. Let's just give a big round of applause to Ash. You really did a great job, and we hope that you enjoyed as much as we did, and you learned something new. Also, I'd like to invite you to check out our experts network, where you'll find Elementor experts like Ash, Doron, Sam, Asaf, and Roy from our previous episodes. It really is a great place to market yourself and collaborate with others on projects. All right, time for the raffle. There were many questions, so thank you for that. But the only question that remains is who's going to win the $100 gift card. So let's see who wins today. All right, everybody ready? The winner is Julie Sharon. Julie Sharon, congratulations. Please contact us today via 90 seconds, that's 90SEC at elementor.com, so we can give it to you. And that's it. Thank you for joining, and see you in the next episode, set to take place Thursday, March 31st, 2 weeks from now. So keep your eyes peeled on our social media and come prepared with your how-to questions. Lastly, this show is for you, so please answer our short survey. I'll leave in the event notes so we can get your feedback and make it even better. I've lost my voice. Thank you, and ciao for now.